Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I've got your first gameplay and overview for the Leopard 2A7V straight from the Air Superiority dev server. Apparently it's being bombarded by cosmic rays, as you can see, but either way, this is a currently rank 8 battle rating, 11.7 medium/main battle tank for the German Ground Forces tech tree, and sits after the 2PSO. Now this is the slowest of the Leopard 2s, unfortunately. It has a 61 km/h top speed, the worst power to weight ratio when fully spaded. Even the 2PSO has a better power to weight ratio because at least it has 130 more horsepower. And the thing is, this can be heavier than this because you can add mine protection, which makes it weigh 69 tons, which is 9 tons heavier than the 2A6 that essentially is most similar to. Comparing this to the 2A6, because again, this is more or less an offshoot of that, whereas the 2PSO is closer to an offshoot of the 2A5, the 2A7V actually has some pretty nice upgrades. So first and foremost, this has Gen 3 thermals, fantastic. Again, you can add mine protection. Don't know why you would, but you certainly could. And you also have programmable HE, which is really nice versus aircraft. More importantly, and this is, I think, going to be the biggest upgrade here, this does have access to composite screens on the front. You might be saying to yourself, composite screens, what do those matter? The 2A6 doesn't have that at all, right? It's just, that's it. This has composite screens. So in some ways, it's kind of similar to the 2PSO, except it is more consistent. It's got better composite screen coverage on the front, whereas the 2PSO has better along the sides of the vehicle. So that being said, let's just go ahead and see exactly how powerful this is versus Heat FS. As you can see, 1300-ish millimeters, 12 to 1300 versus Heat FS, and versus DM53 with the, again, L55A1 cannon, you're still looking at 800 or so millimeters of armor pen, or of armor protection. And even up here, it's still improved, of course, because of these composite screens. Of course, the lower glacis really isn't protected all that well, but much the same on the 2A6. Now, the thing is, if you were to do this same test against the 2A6 with the Heat FS, you only get like 750 millimeters of armor protection, and versus APF SDS, you only have like 450. So it is a massive improvement here on the 2A7 insofar as protection is concerned. Additionally, and we'll have to see if this actually works, I can't really test this out by myself, but in real life, this has a thermal protection system. So like an active camouflage or a passive camouflage system, whatever you want to call it, where in theory, this should be able to disperse its thermal signature and kind of reduce it in such a way where enemy thermals should not be able to see this as well as they would with other vehicles. Whether or not that's going to happen, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll have to wait and see because, of course, if that's true, that would make this a lot more effective than the 2A6. Whereas right now, it seems like you're just getting more or less some additional armor over the 2A6, some additional survivability in trade-off for speed. If we get that active heat protection system, that heat management system, it could be huge. Additionally, this is supposed to have an auxiliary power unit, which should in theory help it if your engine is shot out or just shut off. But I've tested it and it doesn't seem to quite work quite yet. So that said, let's get into a few matches, see what we can do. Have a good time, and remember, dev servers or anything on here is subject to change and alterations prior to the live server. Let's get into it. So the blue skin is still here. This looks so weird, by the way, because like the model is here, but it's not really skinned properly. Anyways, being that this is the dev server, bear in mind we are going to be facing mostly bots. As you can see, I mean, we got like 2 people who are not bots. So this, as with all of my dev server gameplay, from like the F-15, Su-11, Gripen, all those things, the whole point of this gameplay is to basically show you how these things work, you know, what the systems are, what these things have, and if possible, put them in combat versus other players, if not, versus tanks. What I can tell you about this is that it is definitely a bit more sluggish compared to a regular Leopard 2, especially like the 2A6. This is slower than it. I mean, it's just not as quick off the line as one could imagine. This thing is way heavier, like way heavier than the standard 2A6, which kind of sucks, you know? I mean, that's just very unfortunate. It does have, obviously, a lot of oomph with its cannon, but again, I mean, like, this thing has a top speed of 61. I don't really know if the top speed is going to limit it as much as just the reduction in power to weight ratio, which is, of course, related but not the same. And that really sucks. Okay, let's see how this does versus the M1A1HC. I'm assuming this guy is the M1A1HC, because that's what's showing up in my kill feed. Yes, it is. Got the track, horizontal turret drive. Very nice. And now we should get the... Didn't get the kill. So that's not very nice. And one more shot for the finish. There we go. Now, of course, this has the same exact ammo as the other Leopard 2A6, except, of course, again, this does have the DM11, which is nice, you know, but unfortunately, I don't really know how much we're going to be able to actually show that off here. But we can certainly try. Got the gunner and all that. And, nice! Now we got the kill. You know what? I'm going to go equip the HE shell. I'm going to try to aim it right above his turret. Ah, it didn't work. Now, does this have a minimum range? Doesn't appear as though it does. Let's try one more time. And I hit him directly in front of the turret, unfortunately. So we have ourselves a kill there. Wow, bot killing. Did not expect that so much. Again, unfortunately, this is all, pretty much all World War II vehicles. And I'm actually running low on ammunition. So this has a total of 37 rounds that you can carry, whereas the 2A6 has 42 rounds. So this can actually carry fewer rounds than the other, whatchamacallit. What's this guy doing, man? Oh, it went right through that turret and blew it up. I feel kind of bad. I'm ruining this guy's nice time, but that's what this whole dev server gameplay is all about, right? It's about testing this thing out, and I had no problem destroying that M1A1HC from the front, because after all, that's what an M1A1HC is, or that's what clickbait is. It is an M1A1HC, and that was easy enough. So, I mean, thus far I've done okay. Let's go ahead and try to decap something, because I don't know why so many, like, why people are into capping in dev servers, because all it does is just hasten the match, unfortunately. Which means that you won't be able to test your vehicles out as much. Ooh, we have an enemy way off there in the distance. Oh, really? He's in the spawn. That is not something I was expecting, actually, that I'd be able to see somebody all the way from the enemy spawn. But I guess here we are. But that's a World War II tank. What does it matter? It's a bot, right? So that said, I mean, just some final thoughts here on the 2A7V as I'm playing it. I'm pretty impressed by it. It doesn't really necessarily feel all too much better compared to the 2A6. It's definitely slower. The protection gain that you get is all located in the front, unfortunately. So it's not like a huge upgrade that you'll be getting. Now, Gen 3 thermals, fantastic, love it. That's wonderful. But otherwise, I mean, it has the same armament for the most part. I mean, of course, you have the HE shell, which is nice. But that's really it. Ooh, is that the T90M? That might be. This guy knows I'm here. Okay, I'm gonna go behind this guy. T9. So that's the only way you can really kill a T90M, by the way, is by going behind them and doing that. Otherwise, a spall liner will catch your shell. It's ridiculous. I am telling you 100%. I actually have gameplay of the T90M if you guys want to check it out. And I actually go over its spall liner. You can see in my video how ridiculous that spall liner is. So shooting it from the side, as you kind of saw right there, did nothing. Thus, you have to go around the back where there is no spall liner protection. Absolutely absurd. But otherwise, I mean, like, if you want, like, this is, I don't know, it's a weird vehicle, this is, right? So I'm not sure if it's, you know, if it's active or if its thermal protection system works at all. I'm not sure. I can't really say with a degree of certainty there. But what I can tell you is that this definitely still has the same great cannon for the most part. A little bit better technically because of the HE option as the 2A6. Don't you hate not being able to see over things? Oh, that's the 2A7. Oh, look at that. I survived. It's not the 2A7. You know what I mean. So I'm going to try to trick these people out here. But I think, genuinely, the T90M is a better vehicle than this. Ooh, got the kill. Now, in order to kill the T90M, you pretty much have to shoot right underneath where his turret is, where his gun is. I mean, they're more or less invulnerable from the front, at least what I've been testing. But I'm still doing quite well here, so that's good. These guys must be buddies. But that said, do I like the 2A7? Yeah, I mean, it's good. You know, it's got better armor at the front, which is nice. That's probably the only reason why I survived that shot. Actually, it looks like that might have bounced up and destroyed the barrel and cannon breech. Actually. Interesting. So I guess just really briefly here with the 2A7. I don't know. I mean, I like it. It's, for the most part, an upgrade over the 2A6. It does have some trade-offs. Again, you get better armor for lack of mobility, relative lack of mobility, which anyone could say, you know, it's a big deal, might not be a big deal. Depends on how you look at it, you know. I mean, do you really value that? I think overall it's worth it, having that increased survivability. It is, if it was a much less substantial increase in survivability, I would say not. But in my opinion, yeah, it's worth it. It's a very good increase in the front, at least, compared to the 2A6. This definitely has, you know, this, of course, has better thermals. It has the option for the HETF, which is nice. Not going to be very usable all the time, but it'll be a situational thing, which is nice. And, of course, if that active heat management system does work, this would end up being a very, very good vehicle, potentially, depending on how much it works, if it does work, that sort of thing. So we'll have to see. A lot has to do with how this is actually going to go on the live server. It really depends on that. You know, it's a good vehicle in and of itself, and I think overall this is a net upgrade compared to the 2A6. But again, you lose out on some speed for additional armor. You don't make up for it with any better of an engine. The cannon is mostly the same, but you do get a situationally usable round in the HETF. So, I mean, yes, overall, good vehicle. I think it's a nice upgrade compared to, you know, previous, the 2A6, but nothing incredibly substantial. It's good, not amazing. Insofar as the upgrade is concerned, just a net gain. So with that said, thanks so much for watching, everyone. You know, definitely, if you don't mind, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. I genuinely appreciate all of it, more than you might know. You know, it really does mean the world to me that you guys watch my videos, so on and so forth, and subscribe to my channel and all that. It's just... having broken 100,000 subscribers has been just absolutely wild and something I never once expected to be able to do. So, again, thank you guys, and, well, I'll see you all on the other side. Officially, now. Take care, everyone. Let's get this Leopard. There we go. See you guys.